Hello kids, welcome to a brand new video by Notebook. Today we will talk about weights and measures. Do you remember going to your doctor and they check your weight every time you fall sick? Why do you think they do that? It is really simple. Your weight tells the doctor whether you're eating properly or throwing your tiffin every time to buy junk. So, you see why it is important to measure weight? Another example. Suppose you have 2 bags of yummy goodies kept on a table. One is bigger and another one small. Before you decide on which one to choose, you want to know which one might have more items. What do? You measure their weights and compare. Simple. Let us now learn about weights, how they are measured, and some more interesting stuff. You must have seen a beam balance at your local shop. Now, some of you must be wondering as to what is a beam balance. Look at the instrument showing on screen. Does it look familiar? I'm sure it does. Well, children, the shopkeeper uses a beam balance to weigh items like rice, sugar, flour, vegetables, and so on. A lot of stores now have modern electronic scales that displays the weight of items directly. But few small or temporary shops use traditional beam balances. If you remember from your last visit to the local vegetable shop with your father, you would remember how the potato seller puts a bunch of potatoes chosen carefully by you and your father on one side of the scale. On the other side, the shopkeeper puts iron blocks with some numbers written on it. 500 gram, 1 kg, 5 kg, etc. The balance tilts to one side and the weights are adjusted until the beam is fully level. Suppose on a given day you go with your father and he gives a basket of potatoes to the shopkeeper and asks for 2.5 kg of potatoes. That is 2 kilo and 500 grams. So that is how you can tell or know how much we are buying. Children, do you see any similarity between the beam balance and some other objects you see quite often in your neighborhood? Let me give you a hint. It is quite large, requires 2 people to use and is usually found in a playground. Yes, I'm talking about a seesaw. A seesaw is very similar to a beam balance. You must have played on a seesaw with your friends. Have you ever been in a situation when 2 of your friends got on one side and kept you helplessly raised for a while? Why do you think that happens? It happens so because the weight of 2 of your friends together is much more than yours alone. So, 2 of your friends are heavier than only one. Next time you go to a park, get all your friends and see who is heavier than you. Hopefully, that gives you an idea about what does it mean when we say heavier or lighter. Let us now move on to learn something more about objects and their weights. You have seen a 1 kg weight that is used by shopkeepers, right? Compare that with 1 kg of cotton. The cotton bag looks much bigger and heavier, yet both of them have the same weight. That happens because the weight of an item depends mainly on what it is made of, not just its size. Let me give you an example. You are going on a vacation with your family. Your parents have given you and your sibling 2 bags of the same size. They ask you to pack your clothes, few books and one toy each. Now suppose you are the smart Harry Potter boy or witty Hermione girl and your sibling is a lazy goose. You neatly fold all your clothes tightly and are able to pack in 20 t-shirts, 10 pairs of shorts and 2 pairs of shoes. Although your mother didn't ask you to pack shoes. Your sibling opens the suitcase and throws in 5 shirts, 3 pants and a book along with a big teddy bear. No shoes of course, that lady sloth. What do you think, which suitcase would be heavier? Of course yours. Although both the suitcases are of the same size. Why? Because you smartly packed more items using every space in the suitcase. Using this explanation, can you guess which is heavier? A bag full of stones or an identical bag full of feathers? Of course the stones. This is because feathers are loosely packed compared to stones. So, if we place the bags on the arms of our beam balance, the pan with stones will go down, perhaps a bit violently. What if we try to balance this pan? We will have to either remove some of the stones or add more feathers, right? Let's try the second method. We add more and more bags of feathers until the beam is perfectly horizontal. We end up with a huge quantity of feathers to balance a reasonably small quantity of rocks. So, we understand clearly now that weight of an object depends upon the type of object. Now, different types of balances are used by people dealing in different items in different businesses. For example, the balance used by a goldsmith is very different from the balance you see at your local vegetable seller. A number of shops also use modern digital balances where the weight is directly displayed on a screen. There are also special balances for weighing heavy objects. Have you ever seen a weighing bridge on the highway? If not, then look out for one when you are on the highway next time. Often seen near highways and long bridges, these huge machines are used to measure the weight of trucks to ensure that they do not cause damage to roads or bridges. Overloading of trucks not only damages road structures and public property, but it is also very dangerous to other drivers. These vehicles are difficult to control and often cause accidents. The world of weights and measures is rather interesting, and you can make your own beam balance at home to play with. Let us see how. Take a meter rule and tie 2 identical pans to its ends. Now, tie a string at exactly the middle point of the ruler. Test the balance by suspending it from the middle without any weights on its pans. The scale should remain perfectly horizontal. You can now try out your balance by weighing different items. Use an item of your known weight, like a 1 kg packet of rice, and see what items are heavier or lighter than 1 kg. You can also use this to weigh items of apparently similar weights and find out which is heavier and which is lighter. With this, we come to the end of this lesson. You can try weighing objects of same size from everyday use to estimate the lightness or heaviness of the materials. We will see you soon with more lessons. Until then, here's Team Notebook bidding you goodbye.